Hi, I'm a brash captain, and I did naughty things. So I'm not going to apologize for doing them, even though I know that's what you want to hear from me. Well, in that case, we're going to have to let you go from Starfleet. What? This is inconceivable. How could you do that? I certainly wasn't expecting it. Hello and welcome to another episode of TrekHammer, where we're talking about the latest episodes of Star Trek Discovery. This time it's episode 2, Under the Twin Moons. So this is a continuation of the previous episode, and I can see why they were both released back to back, because it does follow on quite well. Although they are actually pretty good working as standalone episodes on their own. So I like that aspect. We're still getting the continued story, which is nice, but we're also getting more bite-sized parts of it, which actually flow together as a whole, but also can be enjoyed as individual episodes. And that's good as well. So what we've got here is another chance for the crew to shine. Yes, there's a lot of action sequences with Burnham and Saru, and they're actually pretty good. It was interesting. It felt more like an episode of Star Trek, the role-playing game, if you sat around the table with your friends, because we've got the science bit and we've got the action bit, and it was quite good in that respect. But I liked it. It works quite well. The action sequences look good. The situations they're in look fantastic and flow quite well. The science stuff was well done. Give the background characters more of a chance to come to the foreground, which is nice. Adira's been used in the correct way, as in they've got some information and they're actually showing their skills. That was good, using the previous experience between Adira and Tilly in order to further both of their characters. That was really well done, and it feels like we're starting to wrap up certain character traits and character storylines, because by this point they know that this is the final season, I think, and there will be some reshoots and stuff like that to make it all flow. It feels good. It feels right for the show. Getting the characters to actually do things is the most important, and it's one of the criticisms I've had of Discovery a lot of the time. If you're not part of the main focal group, the tiny little focal group, then you're not really getting much screen time, which admittedly is exactly what it was in the original series as well. If you weren't Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, you were there as background scenery, essentially, with occasional lines. Like, there are several episodes where Uhura, Sulu, even Scotty don't actually do anything. They're kind of there, but it could be anyone else. So I didn't like that aspect being brought forward into modern Trek. Not after we've got used to Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, where everyone had something to do. Well, except for Sato. Once it established a kind of rapport with people who apparently spoke English, or at least had a universal translator of their own, Sato didn't really do an awful lot, which is unfortunate. But you know what I mean. Once we got used to ensemble casts, having just a core group again doesn't feel right for Star Trek. So I'm glad that they're starting to expand that out. And it really does feel like it works. So I enjoyed this episode. The science stuff was fun. The problem solving was great. The way everything all meshed together at the end was fantastic. Some of the scenes that are meant to be emotional really are emotional and work well as an emotional scene. It all works well. It's good stuff. So yeah, I like this one. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But I think it's well worth it. And I'm really now disappointed that Discovery's going to end with this season, because it's finally all coming together and everything's working well and it's good. It's a shame it's got to end. But having said all that, still got a few issues with the camera and editing, because it's still a bit choppy and it's still a bit wobbly, which is not great. I don't like that style. It does make me sick while I'm watching it, and I'd prefer we didn't have it, but I kind of think we're stuck with it. So in the end, I think this one is a 9 out of 10. Warp factor 9, Mr. Sulu. Okay, guys, have I been too generous? Have I not been generous enough? Do you have a different take on the show and the episode? I'd love to hear what you have to say about this in the comment section down below. Let's have a conversation about Star Trek. Always love that. So, let's do that. But until next time, I've been Zoe Cook Robinson. You've been watching TrekHammer. Live long and prosper. I'll see you next time. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.